All right, here we are again in the what we call the studio, all scattered across Tennessee. I'm your one of your hosts, Jacob Lewis.
I am Matthew Parvin, the other
It's
co host.
it's your boy, the Road Course King, aka Cody.
Hey, it's Cooper.
Hey,
Hey,
So, as we stated before, we actually have a new episode that we're going to upload. Today's episode is based on the 1987 Winston Cup poster. If you're not familiar,
gasp! I don't know what that is.
so
oh
the
no.
1987. This is the race that actually Cooper pointed out earlier that I had completely forgot about. The pass in the grass happened. But also for the 87 Winston Cup, they had an 87 Winston Cup poster. So the Winston in NASCAR is what most of NASCAR fans know, but if you don't know, is what is now considered the all-star race. Winner gets $1 million. That's the way it goes. Money, money. And every year, the people that were qualified for the Winston would be put together in a poster. They would take a picture for them, and they would send it out. Now, Winston would have to send you the photo. You would have to somehow get the picture from Winston. They would send the poster. I actually called a buddy of mine whose dad has the original poster that I'm talking about. Now, the significant thing about this poster is that Tim Richmond, the god, has his pecker out.
He whipped his dick out.
He whipped his dick out.
Allegedly. It's allegedly.
Oh, see, that's the thing. We're all going to have to figure out. So there's not a lot of history around this poster.
Nobody's talked about it. That's the crazy thing.
No, they don't want to talk about it.
Is that like the oil slick in NASCAR's history?
I think so. I think it's like that South Park episode where the BP oil spill happens and they get out and go, "I'm sorry.
Yeah,
We're sorry. We're sorry." But this poster has went down, and I guess in one of the biggest urban legends in NASCAR history, because this is one of the biggest thing that Tim Richmond is known for. and
sad too.
yeah.
He was a hell of a racer.
Great racer. In 1986, guess how many races he won? 7.
How many? Yeah, I mean
7 races.
that's a lot.
Like, that's a lot. Who won 7 races this year? Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin.
I
was
think
it
they
Kevin?
won 9.
Oh, they won like 9. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, they're better
But
than
I mean,
Tim, I guess.
Right, but I mean, 7 wins in a single season. Like today, that would be like huge news.
Well, Tim Richmond is who they based the Days of Thunder movie off of.
What?
Yeah. You know Harry Hyde, the crew chief in the Days of Thunder movie?
Yeah.
That was an actual crew chief. There was an actual crew chief named Harry Hyde.
And that was Tim Richmond's crew.
That was
chief?
Tim Richmond's crew chief. So Tim Richmond is definitely went down as urban legend with the Winston Cup poster. And now we're going to get into the history of it. So
1987 rolls around.
1987 rolls around. He is sick and tells everybody that he has pneumonia. So he's out for the first part of the
Right,
season.
and this is wintertime too. So I mean, that's pretty believable.
Pneumonia is really pretty common.
Yeah, you pick it up in the off season, November, December, January.
Now, what he didn't tell everybody was that he had been diagnosed with HIV.
Which in that time that was kind of like a
right,
pretty
1987.
Yeah.
because if you had it, you would never tell anyone you would have it.
Well, this is at the heart of the AIDS epidemic. I mean, I don't think people our age will ever know what the AIDS epidemic was like, because there was a lot of hysteria around it.
I feel like the genuine fear of it might be greater than what we're experiencing now with COVID.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because, I mean, it was a genuine death sentence. With COVID, it's like up in the air, like I might live, I might die. But with like HIV and AIDS, like if you got it.
Like you'd have like maybe 10, 15, like you could live like 10, 15 years, but
Right.
Yeah.
And like we didn't have an understanding of it. Politics played a big part into like, the hysteria and like which groups we were blaming for it. It was a weird time in world history, not just American history, but world history.
And a lot of homophobia was into it as well.
Yeah,
a
that
lot
was
of
the
homophobia.
driving force behind it.
Yeah, and that's something that Tim got a lot of flack for. But the doctor's name is actually David W. Dodson. He was the one that first treated him for AIDS, and he's the one that was there when he was dying at the very last days. And he said that he wanted to make sure that everybody knew that there was no drug use with Tim, that there was no homosexual relationships with Tim. He made it.
But I thought there's speculation that he
See-
could be a homosexual man, which not a big deal. But back then, it was a big deal because
See,
no one came out as homosexual back then.
No.
So
you're absolutely correct. There is speculation about it, but the NASCAR and the doctor did not want to come out and say that he was
Right, and,
homosexual.
we covered this a little bit a few episodes back. We brushed lightly on it, I believe.
yeah, when I brought him up, I brought him up in the top 10. Yeah.
Yep. Homosexuality in NASCAR, even to this day, I think would be like, a pretty. I mean, we're seeing what Bubba is going through in NASCAR.
Oh, yeah.
So if there were to be a gay man or a lesbian woman in the sport, we're bringing in like something that's totally.
I mean,
new
it's.
and
I
something
mean,
that's
just-
relatively.
I mean,
powerful.
NASCAR is really kind of like it's kind of the southern sport now. I mean, there is like northern races and stuff like us growing up in the south. We live in this sort of world, but so
just
someone
women in
worked-
general in the sport, like
It's still
that's-
like
it's still like people do not like that.
So I mean, imagine a NASCAR driver coming out, at the peak of the HIV epidemic, and saying he was gay. Honestly, not to like throw a speculation out there, but he could have been in physical danger in the garages at any point.
Oh, 100%. And I mean, in his shoes, yeah. I mean, and the doctor said the doctor and the family never really came out and give a press conference or anything like that. I think because I mean, number one, their son just died. The first thing on my mind wouldn't be go out to give a press conference.
Right. Yeah.
No.
Let me
The doc-
explain why.
Yeah.
The doctor made sure to point out that it was with a heterosexual contact, and that could have been the case. It could have been
Oh
the case.
yeah. I mean, contrary to belief at the time, the focus was on the black community and the homosexual community, but straight white people got it just as well as any other group did.
Oh yeah. Well, there was a case where like a 6-year-old kid got it.
Yeah.
And he had AIDS, and and like everybody within the neighborhood didn't want their kids to be around him because they
Right.
thought it was literally a case of fucking leprosy, is what it.
Yeah, because you could get it from like blood. Like you cut
Yeah.
yourself, the other guy cut himself, and you guys like shook hands or something.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. It's
fuck, you have
not,
HIV?
It's not as easily transmittable as everybody like made it out to be in the 80s.
no.
Like,
Yeah, no.
it is an STD, bodily fluids. That's it. I mean, as far as you could be best friends with somebody with HIV, you could go and hang out at their house, and you're fine. But at that time, we did not have a great understanding of it, and we just thought that it was like a common cold. Like if you coughed near me, that was it.
And I think that's one of the biggest things that that NASCAR probably got pissed at Tim about was that he didn't come forward about having HIV because of what if a crash happened and he cut himself and he got it on somebody that was
On a crew chief.
or a safety
Yeah.
representative or something
Yeah,
like
no,
that.
yeah.
I think that's where he catches the biggest flack.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, in his shoes, could you imagine like your passion is racing and now you can't race because
And not to even say he was an all-star too. Like
Yeah.
just to have your all-star, he could go from everything to nothing.
Well,
All
oh,
because he's
100
like, hey guys, I have
so he's
HIV.
coming off of a 7-win season.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And speaking of, there's actually talking about talking about homophobia and stuff. I want to shout this guy out. His name's on Twitter is Dreamy Zach Racing, and he actually started the Gay Racing podcast. So I thought
Oh,
that was
shit.
I thought
Really?
that was kind of
kick-ass.
dope. I thought that was kind of
That's
dope.
cool.
Yeah.
I was
That's
like,
cool.
I think that's cool that they're doing that. I think NASCAR's finally starting to expand.
Good.
But man, even right now, I got cold chills like thinking about what Tim Richmond went through and everything.
Right.
But
And,
no-
it's hard to fathom. I mean, as like a straight white dude in the South, like I can't fathom what somebody who is like even suspected of maybe being homosexual like is going through
Well,
in
holy-
1987.
Holy shit! Think about what Wendell Scott went through. We'll never know. We will never know what he
Well, I mean,
went
and
through.
we're seeing just like a small portion of it with Bubba.
Well, yeah, just a small portion.
Like
And there
it's
has
nowhere
been-
near.
There has been there was another black driver that raced. Man, I cannot remember his name. That raced the 14 waste management car.
I know who
and-
you're talking about. It was
Remember-
his name Willie.
Something like that. It was something Willie. He raced. He was a big racer in like some other series and stuff like that. Something that I'm not as big of a follower, so I don't want to shoot something out and just spout bullshit. But he said that he got booed at Martinsville for
Yeah.
nothing,
And that's for no reason.
no reason, and there's no point in that.
No,
We
I
don't-
mean, I think, even back in like the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, I think we were advanced enough as a civilization, as the human race, to like move on from seeing colors from,
Yeah,
like
Oh, yeah.
a negative standpoint. And, moving on to like orientation. I think we're well beyond a society. Even in the early 1900s, we should have been more advanced as to like hold someone, out to dry just because of who they love. And
Yeah.
that's something I could go on and on and on and on about that for days. But the fact that there is a gay NASCAR podcast coming,
Fantastic.
Isn't that crazy?
That's a
That's
good
dope.
idea.
Fantastic.
I wanted to shout those guys out because I seen that the other day and I kind of took the
honestly, we need to get them on as some.
Yeah, did you reach out to them?
not yet no,
You
but
need
I
to.
want to.
Yeah,
I want
you
to.
should.
I want to get
You
them
should.
on. Yeah, I'll actually see if we can't get them on. I'll tag them in some shit or something like that.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
So we can see what we can do.
Except
But
we're all just starting out. I think
yeah,
it'd be cool.
well, he has he's supposedly in the racing community. He has like 920 followers so
That's
on
dope.
Twitter.
Wow.
So,
That's
I mean,
good.
He
That's
knows what
good.
he's doing.
Yeah.
But they posted a picture. This is what caught my eye. They were getting a Chick-fil-A milkshake, and he said, "I got my homophobia shake." I was like, "That's pretty hilarious."
Fun fact: I went like a whole year without eating there. As
Really?
A protest, yeah.
A lot of people did. You weren't. Yeah. No, it was a big thing.
I remember.
But those
When the-
Jesus nugs are real good, though.
God,
I
they're
can't-
so good. I hated it forever, but man, you ever had their macaroni and cheese? Oh my God!
No, I haven't been.
It's shitty.
Like, I mean, I'm still kind of on that protest.
They changed it. They changed it.
They changed it. I got it when it first came out, and I was like, bro, I could make better mac and cheese here.
You know, like a macaroni casserole. How it
Yeah.
goes.
Where it's
That's
got
what
that, like that layer of burnt cheese over top of it.
Mhm.
Oh,
That's
they
what
changed it
got
to
now.
that.
See,
Yeah.
I'm out on that. I'm
All
out
right.
on that. Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
about it.
man.
I love
I'm
my
about
soupy
that.
macaroni that I'm having to like slurp the cheese up with.
Oh.
I just go there for the chicken.
Speaking of macaroni
That's
sounds,
fair.
Tim
No hate.
Richmond got pussy.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Without a
Had him.
fucking
Without a
doubt.
fucking
oh
doubt.
my god.
Look
yes.
at that man, mullet, mustache. Oh my God.
Oh yeah. In
That was
late
the man
80s.
of the 80s.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, he was literally Rick Hendricks. I mean, before the Chase Elliott, before the Jimmy Johnson, before the Jeff Gordon, that was Rick Hendricks' boy.
Oh,
Like that was
yeah.
his man. You know what I mean? But anyways, getting back to the poster. So, 1987, he rolls around. He actually was missed a bunch of races. He didn't show back up until much later on, and I think that was returning. I think it was Darlington he returned to, and
Wasn't it? It was a week right before the All Star race, was it not?
yeah. He
Yeah.
returned to Darlington and did some and I don't know if you remember the Days
How'd
of
he
Thunder.
perform?
It was just a test race. It was just a
Gotcha.
test race, but he broke the track record.
What
He-
more
he-
can you say?
He did 160
Yeah.
there in his car.
I mean, the
and
man was
then-
he was a race car driver.
Yes, he was a race car driver, and he did an endurance test. I think after that, he did an endurance test at the end of March. They were supposed to do 500 laps to get his body back in shape because
Right.
I mean, back then, of course, that was a stock car. Like that was literally a stock car.
Oh yeah.
He
You're
was
working that wheel and
yeah, you're having to work that wheel, and he did 125 laps. I think. I want to say it was 125 or 127, and he didn't. Needless to say, he didn't get the 500 in. But Harry Hyde actually pulled him in and said, "Hey, I pulled him in. That was my doing. He wanted to go longer, so he wanted to keep going, but Harry Hyde was worried about his health." But that goes to the question now. Do you think he told Harry Hyde or any of his crew members about what he was going through, or do you think
I don't
he
think.
kept it
I
among
don't
you?
think anyone knew.
See, I disagree. I think a driver and crew chief relationship extends beyond the racetrack. It has to. And if anybody knew, I feel like maybe it would have been the spotter. Because, a driver and their spotter has to be closer than anyone else.
Oh,
out there at
100%.
any given time.
100%.
I feel like somebody knew. And honestly, I guarantee you NASCAR knew.
Yeah.
And I feel like for the reason being, that's something that probably had to be disclosed. Like for contractual purposes, that probably had to be disclosed.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the thing I always think about. Like, did he tell anybody on his team? Because he could have. He did. Yeah. 127 laps is what he did. He did 127 laps. I had to look it up. This is on Racing Reference. It's actually, believe it or not, this is posted by NASCAR Man. So ain't that crazy? But yeah, he come in the spring of '87, and March 31st he went to Darlington. That's what it was. He went to Darlington, and then he did some more races and everything. He broke the record 160.600 miles per hour. And press
Pretty
actually,
solid go.
nobody was supposed to know he was even supposed to be there, but he showed up, and then press got in there, and next thing you know,
And I feel
they're-
like he showed up and it was probably flashy. Right?
oh yeah, yeah.
Like there's no way he like went like with a hood over his head and
Well, you got to think, man. If you go online and you go on YouTube, I mean, you can look up the videos and stuff. He's on like late night shows talking to him. Like they're asking him when he's going to come back. I mean, he was literally the Jeff Gordon before Jeff Gordon was thought about. Because Jeff Gordon hosted Saturday Night Live. When is a NASCAR driver that you've ever known hosted Saturday Night Live in today's society? Ryan Blaney's the only guy that does stuff like that. Ryan Blaney's like voicing the Spider-Man animated cartoons and shit.
yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So like that to me, that's cool.
Right. And the
But
sport needs more people like that.
they do. They need people like that. They need people that want to go out there because I mean, you know, back in the day on David Letterman, they would have Dale Earnhardt and everything.
Yeah.
What was it Dale Earnhardt said? Dale Earnhardt said, "It took me so long to win the Daytona 500, but at least my name isn't Dick Trickle."
Right. Yeah. No, NASCAR needs more
Oh, boy.
more huge personalities like that.
Talking about a tragic story there with Dick Trickle too, man. My God.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, you could tell, but like Tim Richmond had heart, and like that's all. Like when you see someone who's like sick like that and has a heart, and just wants to get back and dedicate to the race, like that's what you need with some at times when it comes to people who race. Because if you don't have people like that, then like you're not probably going, like you might dwindle in like viewership or whatever. Like in the case of that, you know.
So exactly, Parv, exactly, because he was the dude that, I mean, literally, I mean, Dale Earnhardt was at the time Tim Richmond. I think Tim Richmond would have given Dale Earnhardt a run for his money.
Yeah, especially entering the prime. I mean, because he was not at his prime.
No, he was just rolling up.
Like imagine a NASCAR that was dominated in the '90s by Tim Richmond and Davey Allison.
Oh my God. Could you imagine? I feel like we lost so many good drivers, whether it was Davey Allison, whether it was Tim Richmond, whether it was Adam Petty, Kulwicki. Could you
Yeah,
imagine?
Kulwicki.
Yeah. Could you imagine what they could have done if they were all on the track? NASCAR, I couldn't even imagine what the 2000s would have been like.
Well, see, I can't imagine being a fan of the NASCAR, of NASCAR in the '80s or the '90s. Like each week you tune in, and you're like, is my favorite driver gonna die today?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that's not even a thought that crosses my mind. Like
No.
I know if somebody wrecks at 200 miles an hour, like they're fine. But back then, it's like, you know, those big crashes, you really.
That's what we were talking about in the stream. We were just
Yeah.
talking about how like sports has changed overall. Like in the 80s, 90s, you're not getting that back. You're not gonna
Especially
have the
with
danger.
motorsports.
Yeah, exactly. You're not having that danger of like, oh, someone's gonna hit me, whether it's basketball, whether it's
I
football.
mean, safety
whether
has
it's
become
stock car driving. Yeah, like
yeah,
safety is.
it has
Go ahead,
become
sorry.
probably like the biggest priority in every single sport, and because of
Yeah.
that, you have less frequent injuries. Like you may have obviously your career enders, like which are unfortunate because maybe something faulty. But if someone has a career-ending injuries, they will look into that injury and try to find a way to make whatever happened to them a lot safer.
Right.
And that's the
Oh,
great thing
We
about
saw that
today.
with Dell.
Look at commentators. Yeah, for instance, Dale. I mean, you have Tony Romo. Look at Tony Romo. Had a career ending. Pretty much his back was just done.
Ron
That was
Newman's
the-
a walking example of that.
And you had
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, in almost a career ender. You had it's not a stock car, but it's another football player, Alex Smith.
Without a doubt. I mean,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Alex Smith. I mean, that right there, more than anything.
And see, that's a good
credit
thing.
modern medicine.
And that's another good thing for that's kind of like a Tim Richard type of one because Tim Richard had his illness. Alex Smith had a broken freaking leg and almost died.
Right.
Infections
came-
too. Yeah,
you're
just
not-
infection
you're
after
not aware.
infection.
It just
He
came back.
broke his leg really bad in a game, right? Like it snapped like straight in half.
No, it was like 25 years on the anniversary that Joe Theismann broke his
Same
leg
exact-
on the same field
exact- yeah.
on the same primetime game.
Yep.
Broke his
Holy
leg,
Shit.
and then he had like 4 infections in his leg. He was gonna get it
He went into
amputated.
septic shock and
Yeah,
He almost
like-
died.
gonna die.
Yeah, and then he
And
came
guess
back.
what? He's in the playoffs.
He's in the playoffs.
That's insane.
And see,
Yeah.
that's it sucks that you had that injury, but that's so good for that sport because he just comes back in, because people are going to be watching that game. I mean, obviously if it's for the team, but also just to see him.
That's the only reason why I would ever root for the Redskins as an Eagles fan.
Whoa! Whoa,
Whoa! 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 Whoa!
I mean, the Washington football team. My bad.
Oh my
bad.
God!
Cancel.
I'm literally just slamming this cancel button right now.
Can we take a commercial? Hey, commercial break. Time out. Do an intermission now. Cut back.
We're leaving that shit in. That was funny.
Anyway,
And we're back. Okay, we are back from that.
Anyway, what I was saying was that's the only reason why I could ever support the Washington football team.
Thank you.
There we go.
The Washington football team.
No, don't start. We're not political. Talk NASCAR.
Washington
Tim Richmond.
football team.
Tim Richmond.
I'm canceled.
No, I'm just saying, Cody. Let's say it together.
Washington
Football
football
team. We
Thank
all
you.
got it, so now we're not going to say it. All right.
Good. Okay, let's go on.
All right, we can go on. Anyways, but Tim Richmond, I'm actually going to start backwards because that's always a good place to start. And so here it is. June 20th, 1993. Winston comes out and addresses a poster. So they actually got a customer complaint, and the customer complaint usually for Winston is what you think it is. Hey, you gave me fucking cancer. That sucks. I'm suing you.
Can I get a refund for these 40,000 packs I bought over the 30
Yeah,
years of
man.
smoking?
Oh my God. Like, yeah, like, hey, my voice box is out and now I'm talking like this or some shit like that. But, you know, that's what Winston hate calls was all about. But this time somebody answers the phone and they pick it up, and then somebody said, hey, man, listen, I don't appreciate the picture you got on your Winston Cup poster that I got from Winston.
Now,
And
let
they're
me
like-
ask, when did this poster release?
So
Did
the
it
post,
release in 87?
yeah.
So, I mean, why did it take you 6 years to, like, realize?
Well, mind you, Tim Richmond has died.
Right.
He's not even alive at this point.
Yeah.
So they found it out years after.
Like, do you think
All-
this is someone who bought it, like, secondhand, or do you think they were walking through their house one day and they're like, huh,
That's a
That's a
that's a thing. Yeah, that's a
Also, mind you, this is only what 3-4 days after Davey Allison was died. Like he's
93?
he's dead. He died July 13th, 1993. The podcast was in July. I think the podcast. The poster complaint was found in June 17th, 1990.
Maybe they were looking at the poster because Davey is in it,
Yeah.
and they're like, huh.
And then
who looked that hard though? Who was just like,
I mean,
man, that
when
looks
you-
like that looks like mine.
when
that's
you're
what that
bored,
looks like.
Yeah.
I mean,
Also, I think my sources was a little fucked up because it's saying that the date of death for him was July 13th, and I'm looking on here and it's saying the complaint was June. So the sources was wrong. I don't know who I got that from. I didn't catch that the first time.
okay.
But I guess Davey died right after that. But anyways, they get a complaint. So June 20th, they come out and they address the poster. And here's what they said. This is quotations from Winston. It says, after learning from a caller to our consumer response lines that there was a potential problem with our 1987 commemorative poster for the Winston R.J. Reynolds Tobacco Company, we had the poster reprinted. We have destroyed the existing poster stock in our possession. We're quite surprised that this had gone unnoticed for 6 years and moved to correct it as soon as it was brought to our attention.
I love how professional that PR release is.
Well, think about how much shit they took, because this is like, look at the people that are in the picture, man.
Right.
It's like iconic Hall of Famers and legends.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. And he just whipped his dick out halfway. Okay, number one, I believe he whipped his dick out. All right, I'm going to go ahead and say it.
I could believe it too.
100%.
Well, hold on
Yeah.
a second here. Why don't we get our viewership to kind of vote on this?
To vote on it?
I mean, they can vote, but I'm saying my damn opinion right now. He
Right.
whipped
So,
it
I
out.
mean, here's what we're working with, right?
So, I mean, you look through this poster on
You
the
don't
left.
see anything, right?
You see, you got Daryl Waltrip there. You got
You have an
Richard
aging
Petty,
Petty down
Del-
there.
Yeah. I mean, look,
Now,
you got
okay, I might be
Morgan
crazy right now.
Shepherd.
Who is that in dead center with the big ass grin?
That's Kyle Petty.
Is
that
that
is Kyle
Kyle
Petty.
back
That
there?
is Kyle Petty. Yeah.
Okay,
That's
I thought
Davey
so.
Allison. That's Ricky Rudd. That's
Senior, you
think
have
it's
the greatest
Harry-
of all time, Bill Elliott.
Kale Yarborough's in the picture too.
yeah.
Yep. You,
Who's
you
the
have,
guy
a-
that-
Gant.
Who's
you
the
have a
guy?
young Kowicki.
Who's in the top right?
I'll be honest, I'm not 100% sure who that is.
Me neither.
I think that's Rusty Wallace though, right between Yarborough and I think that's Bud Moore. Maybe I can't remember who that is.
You have Harry Gant over
Harry Gant,
Waltrip's
yeah.
shoulder.
Look at Morgan Shepherd. Okay, then you got Tim Richmond sitting here.
Right.
In the
Is
folders?
it-
Hell
is
yeah,
that
he brought
Neil
me some
Bonnet right there?
Sugarlands. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Hey,
Sound guy.
Shout out sound guy.
Shout out Sand Guy. He brought me. He
So
brought me some
that's
Sugar
Neil
Lands.
Bonnet on his knee, correct? In front of Richmond.
Yeah, that's Dale Earnhardt's buddy.
So look at the way Richmond is standing though. That's the thing.
Yeah, look at his hands.
Look at everyone else. No, everyone else. Look how they're standing. It's very like tight-legged.
Right.
They're not.
He's
And
open
You're
legs.
right. You're completely right. Yeah, he is sitting-
Everyone is tight-legged. Every single person, all besides Kyle. But Kyle's just like he's hanging
So-
out.
Yeah.
We
Look.
do have and this right here, Cooper, what you just brought up will feed into the conspiracy that I am gonna throw out there, okay? So we have that, right? And then let's move over. Let's have an enhanced look at this.
Oh my God.
Okay. So we have the enhanced look. Let me see if I can't. You know,
That's a dick. It's a
And
dick. Look at it.
right, and some people believe that. Now, I'm gonna throw out the conspiracy that I found. Okay?
All right. Fair enough. Let's hear it.
He had a broken finger. What?
No,
Extended finger. Like
this is in 1987, and he
All right.
is suffering and starting to really feel the effects of HIV.
Yeah.
Right, which is pneumonia. Some people believe that it is a walking cane. Now, that's arguable. I've never seen a cane with a mushroom head. Right.
Yeah, there's not a
but-
if there is one, I want it. I want it to walk
But
around.
based on the way
out
that
of
he is-
anyone
but
anyone
based on
that could
the way
have
he is
one, it would be
standing-
him.
Right,
Yeah.
for sure. Based on the way that he is standing, you can see, like, now that you pointed out, Coop, he could very well be resting on a cane. Like, that is kind of like the cane stance.
There's also a theory that he had like a rubber dick that he would used to pull out and play jokes on, but that's not confirmed nor denied. I couldn't find it was on Reddit. Somebody was saying that. I don't know if
Now,
that's true.
here's something to bring up. You know, his zipper is all the way up. So how else could he show this? Well, there was a kind participant in this discussion who said, "Hey, I used to race in this era. I have an old fire suit from this year. Let me look and see, because I believe it has a double zipper." And he checked and he confirmed that it does zip from the top and also from bottom up. So
Because-
there were two zippers. So if you had to take a quick pee, you could just zip it up.
And because that was one of the theories that people come out with, they were saying that, hey, that's not possible because it would have to zip all the way up. But like Cody said, in that particular year with those fire suits, they zipped from each end. So he could have totally whipped his dick out in the picture.
And you know what? I think the craziest part of all of this is that there is hardly any like coverage of this at all. Like, this is literally the thing that NASCAR tried to cover up. Like
There was
there's
nothing
hardly-
on it.
Yeah. And I
Reddit.
think-
Reddit is your best bet for it. That's it.
Yeah, and I think that's the funniest part is like, is this true? Like, did he whip out his wee wee, or is this just some like fabricated, blown up thing that could like extend into maybe like homophobia? Oh, if he was gay, then he loved to do this, or if he has AIDS, clearly he'd throw it out there at any
Yeah, but you
time.
got to think if you're with a group of friends, like what dude in that group is not gonna have their dick out? You know what I mean? Like, you're just sitting around, you're hanging out, and then someone's just like, "Hey, here's my dick," and you're like, "What the fuck, man? Why?"
So here's all the drivers in the poster. This is every driver that's in there. Listen to these names: Morgan Shepherd,
Mhm.
Jesus guy. If you're watching NASCAR today, he has the Jesus car. He's on the far left. Tim Richmond, of course. Bobby Allison, Daryl Waltrip, Harry Gant, Ricky Rudd, Kyle Petty, Davey Allison, Benny Parsons. Oh my God, Jeffrey Bodine, We know him as Jeff Bodine. Buddy Baker, Bobby Hillin Jr., Rusty Wallace, Kelly Yarborough, Greg Sachs, which is a name I haven't heard in forever, Neil Bonnet, Terry Labonte, Dale Earnhardt Sr., Bill Elliott, and Richard Petty.
I want to throw out there. I just said that there was a young Kowicki. When I looked at Ricky Rudd at first, I thought that was a young Kowicki. I want to just correct myself.
I wanted to point out that the Labonte brothers look like fucking twins because I thought that was Bobby. I didn't think it was Terry.
Oh yeah, without the mustache, you can't tell the
dude. You can't tell. It's a damn good thing he grew that damn caterpillar on his face because I wouldn't have been able to tell him from shit.
You know what I appreciate about this picture more than anything, though?
What?
How Richard Petty looks the exact same today as he did in 1987.
You never screw with the guy who wears sunglasses on the inside.
Oh, no.
That's damn societal.
He still has that same big smile too. He
Yep.
looks the exact same.
He just will never take off those glasses. He doesn't want to know what he's thinking.
No,
That's fair.
I mean, all these look at all these colors too with the fire suit.
Look at Dale. Out of anyone in the picture, look at Dale.
You don't give
Oh,
a shit.
yeah.
You don't want to
He
be there.
doesn't. No,
He's
he's
like, hey, I'm
straight
trying to
fucking.
be out on the track right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he doesn't give a fuck.
The guy who's got the biggest smile for some reason is Kyle Petty. Look at that son of a bitch.
Without a
He's-
doubt.
He's cheesing, man. He's like, maybe he saw it and Tim was like, huh, watch this. And he just,
Honestly, though, I think the saddest thing about this entire picture, though, is Davey Allison.
oh, 100%. Look
I
at
mean,
him, man.
he is in the center for a good. Like in '87, they knew like he was about to be the guy.
Yeah. Here's my personal theory, and this is what I want to point out. Okay, can we zoom in around Tim Richmond? I
Yeah,
want to get to Morgan Shepherd's face right here. I want to point out something. So, look at the smirk that Morgan Shepherd
Has
has
a smirk He
on his
does.
face.
That's fair.
Look at Bobby Allison. like he's grinning. Now Daryl doesn't know what the hell's going on.
Now look at the placement though of Daryl's right arm, because he's like trying to like get it away. It looks like.
Yeah. So here's the biggest one of the biggest conspiracies out there. They said that Tim Richmond would have had to hid it from everybody because these are the good old boys in NASCAR, and they would have been pretty pissed off if somebody would have whipped their cock out in the middle of a group photo. You know what I mean? So my thing is, I don't think that's the case. We're all country boys, every single one of us, whether we want to believe it or not. We were born in fucking East Tennessee. Could we all see each other doing that if we were race cars?
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
No, if you're with a group of guys, you have that one guy that's just like, yo, here's my dick. And you're like,
Yeah.
bro, come on. Why you got to
that's
do that
right.
That's
shit? But
literally
it's still funny.
You're
Yeah,
I'm
you're
not
like,
taking
God
this
damn it.
picture. As long as that dick is out, I am not taking this picture.
Exactly. So, like, it's just humorous. Yeah.
But,
Well, here's-
so if we were to outline this real quick, you could see like there is a clear curve here in
Yeah.
this vicinity.
Yeah.
is one of the I don't know anything. I'm not well versed on HIV, but I do know that they were saying that because he had been sick of the pneumonia, that his hands were really dark. But my thing was, okay, if his hands are really dark, then why is his dick dark? Because that's obviously his dick. Why wouldn't his dick be the same color as his
Some
hands?
people have darker pigment. It's
Yeah.
just how it is there.
Well, they
So,
were
I mean,
saying it was because he was sick. That's what their thing was. I don't know if that's to do with HIV or what.
Mm.
Because I'm not
Yeah, I don't know.
well versed on that. I don't want to get into that on here, but like that could have been something. Maybe his color was getting darker because if y'all ever know somebody with cancer, sometimes they'll get darker in their hands, man.
Right.
Stuff
Which-
like that.
I mean, also let me bring back up that that screen share. His hand is really dark.
Really dark, which would make sense if his.
that's not a hand. Look how long it is.
No, I'm talking like right in this area, right?
So
No,
here.
yeah, yeah.
That's coming.
But still, the other side, like if he was sitting like this,
Oh yeah,
Okay,
but
no,
his hands
his
like
hand
that.
is not going to bend like that
Like-
physically.
One of
No.
the theories was that he was wearing gloves during this picture.
But hey, here's the thing. That thing is not flaccid. That thing cannot.
Why is that the one thing?
What do
you're
you
looking
mean?
for,
Yes, it
Barb?
is.
That's 100%.
Dude, that's a
Neil Bonnet
that's a
doesn't have
flaccid dick.
Yeah.
What?
If that Neil Bonnet's ear would be bent forward if that wasn't flaccid, my man.
That's a flaccid dick.
Like, his ear literally would be like this.
You mean to tell me Tim Richmond was slinging a lot of girls with a little dick? Come
Yeah,
on.
no shot.
No.
Let me ask a question here. We can all agree that son of a bitch was hung. He's hung.
Without
like
it, he had to be. Had to
Yeah.
be.
hung like an elephant, man. Crazy as hell. So after so let's go back. Okay, so in the 87 Winston, he actually finished third. He finished third in the race. He led a lot of it. Dale Earnhardt actually went on to win the Winston that year. That was where Cooper brought it up earlier before we started recording. The pass in the grass happened.
Yeah, I mean, Tim Richmond held third, second and third pretty much the majority of that race.
Oh, yeah.
He
Yeah,
didn't drop down.
Yeah, and this, I mean, like, this is his first race. This is like
back, like his first major race back, and they're like, I think that was the first big money NASCAR race they ever had. It was a big fucking deal.
There was actually a show. There's a show that they actually touched on this on the episode. It's called Dinner with Racers. I have never heard of it, but I found it doing.
Dude, Richard Petty's on it.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty sure Richard Petty's on that episode. Yeah, if you're talking about the one where they talk about this Winston, yeah, I think Richard Petty's on it.
So Richard Petty's on that episode. So they're all talking about, this and everything. But the thing is there's not enough evidence to say that he did whip his penis out.
I think it's just an inside joke. It's got to be.
There's not enough evidence to say he didn't either.
Yeah.
Because something I found out. Let's go to the cane theory. He's standing there holding his cane, right?
All right.
Nobody on set can recall Tim Richmond having a cane that day.
Also,
and I mean, I feel like that would stand out to you. Like, why does he have a cane? And why is he a driver? And he also needs a cane. So I feel like that would be an immediate, oh, yeah, Tim Richmond did have a cane that day.
Well, here's one for you. Also, they had like 3 or 4 pictures that they took, but they destroyed all the other pictures except for this one. This is the only picture. So there's no other picture that they could compare it to.
Right. And I mean, it very well could have been a cane, and they destroyed those pictures because NASCAR didn't want a driver to look weak or raise concerns or questions as to why he had a cane. But also, when they fixed the image, which I couldn't find the fixed image, but it's like just his suit there. Like they photoshopped it in the 90s.
Yeah.
So question. So was this how's this picture released?
So here's the way it had to go. So I actually called somebody that I knew, and this is what he can remember. My dad might know a little bit more. I couldn't get a hold of him today, but here's what the guy that owns this poster. It's actually Brody Morton's dad. Owns this exact poster. He bought it.
Shout out Brody Morton.
Shout out Brody Morton. I called Brody today, and I actually talked to his dad. And he told me that he bought it from this old dude that was just selling like old NASCAR memorabilia right outside of Bristol. It's one of the originals. And this is like one of the biggest finds you could find. I mean, Jimmy Johnson posted it earlier this year that he had bought it as well. So it's something that pops up every now and then. And I mean, you can get them from $50 to $100. I've seen them more than that. You had to go through Winston is what he told me. Parv. So I don't know.
Didn't you mention something?
I found the recalled version.
You found the recalled version?
Yes.
Because I'm saying
I want to see it.
Because I was asking if like there was, because you said 4 different photos, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you get the 4 photos or just get that one?
Just get the one. That was just 4 photos they took to find out which was the best one. Is that the recalled version?
That is the recall version.
No.
Yep.
Without the dick, Neil Bonnet has got some huge ass ears.
Right.
So, Jacob, didn't you mention that this poster was available at Kmart or something? Didn't Kmart pull out?
Tell you what, fuck this. I'm calling my dad. He's going to talk on the podcast tonight.
Oh, Kelly Lewis, what's up, brother? Yeah, let's hear him.
That was a pretty solid Photoshop for the 90s.
Honestly, straight up.
Without a doubt. I mean, the suit was still perfect because you could see the zipper, you could still see the pants and the shadow behind his ear. Yeah. So, that's damn good.
Part of me just wants to know. Part of me just can't fathom that would be a recall. Like that would just be that would be a recall, and they would show this photo. I just don't know. I just can't.
You have to remember the era, though. You have to remember the era.
We called you in the middle of the episode.
I still am question if at the end of the podcast, when we answer the question,
the one where Tim Richmond whipped out his dick.
All right, hang on. Let's listen.
Where did you get Winston Cup posters back then? Did you have to go through Winston, or did you get it at the racetrack, or what? What was the deal with it?
I'm just trying to like talk over this so like while he's talking with his dad that we can like have some sort of conversation. But
Oh,
he's
so you could actually get them at a gas station. So he's saying you could get them in a gas station back in the day.
Damn.
Was there some?
would
was
you
there
get all 4 of them? Oh, never mind, just one. Sorry, I already answered that.
2.
I'm dumb.
You could get the recall and you could get the one, like the legendary one.
This is just
So you could actually get Kmart. I think you told me one time Kmart was selling them, right?
like
Okay,
This
maybe
is-
I heard it from somebody else. All right, well, that was our question that we didn't know, and we've been trying to find that out like all day.
we're getting some insider information here by Jacob's dad.
You could get them.
Kelly Lewis.
Cool.
That's the man.
Shout out to
I'll
him.
talk to you later. Thank you for telling me that.
Thanks, Dad.
All right, love you. Bye bye. So,
This
Parv,
is-
I
yes.
think you're still confused on what I said. There was not 4 pictures that was
Yeah.
released. They completely destroyed the other pictures that there was. This picture is the only negative that they have.
Yeah,
It's the
that's
only
one that was
negative.
released.
Yeah, the rest of them they just tossed in the trash. So they never even came out to the public or anything like
So,
that.
do you
okay.
think maybe everyone knew his dick was out and maybe the dick was positioned too far out and they were like, bro, we can't use this. Your dick is too far out.
Well, think about NASCAR back in the 80s. So Dad, let me go back to what Dad said. Dad said you could buy them anywhere. He said they were at gas stations. He said you could find them anywhere, is what he was saying.
And I'm sure. I mean, that's promotional as hell.
Well, think about Winston, where it's at, gas stations.
right.
That
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
That makes complete sense. God, by the way, he sounded so pissed off that I called him about that. He was like, "I'm watching a movie," and I was like, "I don't care. Listen,
This-
you're telling."
This is why
This
you
is
should be
important.
watching Twilight.
This is some important shit, man. Like, I need you to hold up.
Like turn off your Twilight and let us watch and answer this question.
Ooh. You know he
Whoa.
listens to this podcast. He's gonna fucking hate you now.
Way to
Yeah.
go, Parker. I'm the
He
one who
does-
planted the Twilight.
He does not listen to this podcast. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that right now. He didn't give a
Why'd you
shit.
say that? Why'd you say that?
Gotta get our viewership up. Come on, man.
But anyways, so like, yeah, 1987, he whips his penis out. Straight up, what do we all believe? Do you believe that's
Yes.
dick? That's a dick,
Yes.
right? Like
Yes.
No.
that's a dick. How many times can I say dick in this episode?
So let's go one at a time. So Jacob, present your case as to why this is a dick.
Pull this
Pull it
photo
up.
up. Pull the photo up. I'll tell you my
Do
exact
you want
reasoning.
do you want the close up with
Yes.
No,
the
I just want it just straight up at first, just how you just regular size. So here is my case to why I think that this is the real penis. All right. Okay. On this side of the room, you got people that are literally just cheesing and smiling. You go to Rusty and Kelly Arborough, they're like, all right, we're getting a picture taken. Look at Dale and Terry. Neil Bonnet even. He's just like, okay, cool, whatever. But this corner right here, with starting with Morgan Shepherd, which is in the Quaker State
now
fire
with
suit.
Morgan Shepherd, knowing, the kind of guy that Morgan Shepherd is, would he be standing there just like with that?
Yeah, 100%.
No?
Dude, roller skates in pit road. that's my response to
Fair
that.
enough.
He roller skates on pit road. He don't give a shit. Like he may be super religious and everything, but like I think people need to also understand just because somebody's super religious doesn't mean that they're not going to laugh at some shit like this. Now Tim is the only thing that I don't have a case for. If you look at Bobby Allison sitting there behind Tim, you could look on his face and see that he's cracking up over something.
Oh yeah. His smile is a lot more like, there's a lot more action in his. I feel like they caught him like mid chuckle.
Yeah, literally mid chuckle. And Daryl, you pointed out Daryl, like he's actually putting some space in between him and Tim. He's not touching him.
Space right here.
There's space. He is not touching him. But look at Ricky Rudd. All right. Ricky Rudd is in a prime spot to where he can see it, and look at him. He is just pissed his pants laughing. He is trying not to let it go. Like that's what's
And
funny.
Harry
to me.
Gant. Look at Harry back there.
Oh God, yeah, I didn't even see him. Look at him. He's laughing his ass off. So that's my point. That there's no evidence to say he didn't do it, but the guy that Tim Richmond was, which by the way, we're going to have an episode completely on Tim. This is just on the 87 poster. Tim was controversial in a lot more ways than one. Whether it was that he had HIV, and whether he was whipping his dick out in the 1987 posters, or whether it was that he supposedly slept with a lot of people and gave them the disease knowing that he had it, which is, that's another cat in the bag. We'll get that later. I think that this poster is the living proof that he did it.
So you are fully convinced that is all dick?
Fully convinced that is a full pecker right there.
All right, let's
Whipped
move
out.
on. Parv.
I just don't know. Like more evidence that it shows, I say yes, but I just don't really want to believe that Winston would actually just be like,
Well, they weren't.
They did.
They weren't.
They didn't
Yeah.
know. They didn't know.
I mean,
They
that's
had no
why it
idea.
got recalled.
Yeah.
Because
They didn't-
okay,
see,
looking at it from this perspective right here, I don't see anything. Like if I don't have any idea where to look, I'm gonna print it. Like, oh, okay, this is a good picture. Everybody's smiling and finally looking at the camera.
but see, look at Daryl though. Daryl's just there cheesing, and he's right beside him. Like,
But you could look
Okay,
at
but-
Daryl. Think about
okay.
the guy Daryl is. How Christian like Daryl Waltrip is, and that's not knocking him. He's just a very religious person.
Okay, Parv. Let's say me and you take a picture together, side by side, right? Are you gonna look down to see if my dick is out?
I mean, no.
Okay.
Out of all the people in this poster, though, who do you think would be more pissed off about somebody whipping their pecker out?
It's Daryl. Daryl or Dale.
Daryl
Those
or
are the two.
Dale?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, those
Dale
are
would
the
just
two.
be like, "Listen, we're I don't even want to be here." You could see it in Dale's face. Like he's like, "I would much rather be out on the track right now than right
Yeah.
here."
Dale would be like, "All right, dude, I'm gonna whip your ass if you do it." Now, like the biggest thing is Tim Richmond died in 1989, August 13th, 1989. They didn't find out about this. God, Jesus Christ! They didn't find out about this till years later, 6 years after this poster was.
Right. So it's not like we have the chance to like, know.
We'll never know, because look at half of these people in here. Now, I will tell you this: Morgan Shepherd is sitting right there to the left, and Morgan Shepherd is still living, and he still runs a race team, or was at least. I would love to get him on this episode and ask him. Come on, man! You
But
got
how
it.
many? Well, he's had to been asked that question so many times.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, I don't know that he's been
I don't
asked all
know-
that much because
yeah.
this really is never discussed.
Go on Google and look up. Go on any
And-
search engine and look. 6 articles, maybe.
It's going to take you to Reddit. That's where
Yeah.
it takes you.
It'll take you to Reddit. There was a guy that was on an internet article that I read, and let me see if I can find it real fast. He was saying that he knew Tim Richmond. He had grown up in the garage area. I would like for everybody to go read this, listen to this. But he was saying that he knew people in NASCAR and knew Tim Richmond and michaelmyrick.org. That's it's Michael, just how you think you would spell it, and MYRICK. And he said that he knew Tim, and he just didn't see Tim as a person that would whip out his Johnson, is what he said. I don't know if I believe that or not. And I don't even know who that guy is, to be honest with you.
Yeah. What's
But,
the credential? What's the credibility to that guy?
Yeah, he's saying that he just doesn't believe him, and he said at that time the photo was, as we were talking about, he talks about as the time that photo was taken was when he was really sick, and he was also saying that he was weak and had a cane, and he's referred to as the Hollywood guy, like he was the Hollywood NASCAR driver. You know what I mean? Like that's my thing. So gloves is what he said, but like I said, he didn't provide any proof. But what glove was he wearing, and why is nobody else wearing gloves?
Yeah, I don't think he had like oven mittens on by any means.
Bill Elliott's wearing a watch.
Yeah. Oh, he
Look
is.
at him; he's wearing a watch.
He's like, my son's gonna be a NASCAR Cup champion one day.
Yeah.
All right, so now I will give my opinion here. I'm a skeptic in just about anything. I'm a firm believer that there's a logical explanation for just about anything there is. I think it's just really awkward hand placement. Like I want to
gonna-
believe it's a dick.
I didn't give my opinion, but I'll give it after you
Yeah. You go last.
because I have a good one.
So I think it's genuine, like this kind of like hand position, right?
Yeah.
Like I think that's what it is. I think his hands are dark. I think he might have some pigmentation issues at this point. Obviously he was battling HIV. But I genuinely believe that it was either a cane. I think the cane theory is solid. I really do. Especially just based on the way he's standing. Now, what I did try to look and see was down below Neil Bonnet. I looked to see if there was a cane down there. There's not.
There's not. There's not at all.
No, look at the space.
Yep. So I think the
Shadow.
cane theory is valid. I really do. I don't necessarily believe that, but I think him standing there with a cane is more believable than him whipping his dick out. I have a really valid reason for that. Let me bring up this other screen share real quick as to why I don't think it's his dick.
Also, if it was a cane, the placement of it would have came probably down the middle because that's where most people put their cane, right?
Yep, it would have been probably on the inside of his left leg. If you look at his zipper, it's not open at all.
Yeah.
Down at the bottom.
Well, if it zips up and down, couldn't he have zipped it? Well, that doesn't make any sense either, does it?
Yeah, see, so after looking at it, I genuinely believe that it is his hand, like holding his hand kind of like this, or it's a cane. I think the hand theory is a little bit more solid. And, of course, you have to think, this was a camera back in the 80s, so it's not going to be, Ultra HD.
Dude, the
So-
more I look at it, though, I'm seeing veins.
There's a good one right at the top of his ear.
There's
Yeah.
a vein right there.
Yeah.
Like the more you zoom in, the more I'm seeing the vein, man.
Now look. Here's my theory. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Oh, what's he doing? What's he doing?
All right. I'm gonna take a piss. How am I gonna stand? Am I gonna stand like this, or am I gonna stand open and spread? Standing at a urinal. You gonna spread out? How are you standing? Look at the way he stands in that picture. Everyone is standing like this, or like this. He's the only fucker that has stood like this. The
But
way
also,
you would do
if
when you
you're
piss.
holding a cane, how are you going to stand?
I'm gonna stand regular. Look. I'm gonna lean on it a little bit.
Right.
I'm not gonna
He's
stand
got
like
a
this.
little bit of a lean to him.
I'm not gonna put my leg up though. My leg's gonna be right next to each other. It's holding something. Like if my left side is fucked up, it's gonna support that. If it's
Who's
supporting
got the
my right side.
badass Hoosier Racing Tire banner in your?
Oh, that's me. You like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. But still, I'm just saying. Think about the way you pee. You
And
don't
that's-
stand
that's
straight
fair,
leg.
too. And I think the beauty of
You
this-
spread.
Yeah, I think the beauty of this right here is I could be right, or you and Jacob could be right, or we could all be wrong. That might not be a cane, a hand, or a dick.
It could be like a fucking hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
Could have been having a hat on. You just fucking took it down and
I didn't even see the vein until I started studying it, and now there's no telling me that that's not a penis.
I mean,
That's Tim Richmond's pecker.
it's a
telling you.
dick.
It's,
I mean,
And
it's
the
the
fact
people
it
who-
still follows up. That is a solid, no homo. That is a solid flaccid dick for a man that was putting it around to every woman back then.
well, let me.
I'm just saying. I mean, just saying. He could fucking sling. We knew he was pulling women. It's fucking documented that he was sleeping around. That's a solid dick. That's it.
Well, let me say this. Tim Richmond is the guy that would have done that. No one else in NASCAR.
Not a
would have-
fucking person in that
not-
picture would have done
Not a
it.
person would have done it. He would
Nope.
have done it.
You
Yep.
don't think
And
Petty
also
would have been back
think-
there?
Huh?
Okay. Hold on. Let me bring something back up real quick. You're telling me this isn't the face of a man that would whip his dick out?
He's smart. Look how much he's cheesing in
I
this
know.
picture. he's. I think that Tim literally looked over there and was like, "Watch this."
He's just like,
He
dicks
got-
out.
Look at
I
who
mean,
he's around.
But do you
though.
think? But do you think that Coldplay might have been like?
I'm just saying, if anybody in this picture other than Tim would have whipped his hoo-ha out, I definitely think that Kyle Petty with that
A
smile
vagina?
guy.
A vagina?
Jesus. Yeah. I just think that Tim did it. I mean, the more we look at it, there's a vein. There's a vein that's there. There's a vein.
I don't
mean,
think I'm
here's the-
sold on it.
I mean, to the people who are like, who maybe listen to Spotify or like Podbean, go look this up, and then like, well, like I will say like after like the podcast is out for like a day or two, we'll post on Twitter, and you can be like, was it out? Yes or no. Like that's the big thing here.
Well, the biggest thing is too is we're going to post this on YouTube. This is a new thing that we're going to be doing, and this is also going to go on Spotify. And I believe there's a way that we can post the video on Spotify.
You can. Joe Rogan does it.
Yeah, Joe Rogan does it. I think
Yeah.
Spotify has upped their podcast game. So I think we can actually post this video on Spotify. So we'll actually have a video this time. Maybe. I don't know the whole details on it, but we'll do our best shot. But man, I just think it's a penis. I just do.
I'd say I am 65-45 on this one.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't expect this episode to be as good as it went.
Wait, what are you 60? Cody, what are you 65 on?
I'm 65 that it's not a dick, 45 that it's not.
I'm
65 that's not a dick, 45 that it is. I said it backwards.
I'm 100% in.
Same.
I'm
about like 70% not, 30% yes. It's only I just can't.
Think about it too. Think about how he has been treated by NASCAR at this point, because you know that some inner people in NASCAR had found out
Oh
that
yeah.
that he was in. So maybe this was like a big, F you to everybody that was.
Here's my dick.
involved. Yeah, check this out. The way it was hidden too, man. Like, God.
I am fairly confident that it is a hand or a cane.
Well, here's also.
I think
Not a hat? You don't think it's a hat?
I don't think it's a hat.
It could like the hats are not shaped like little.
One more point that I'm going to make, and this is the last one I got. Let me run this by y'all. Okay, so this is the time where NASCAR is trying to get publicity in any way, shape, or form that they can.
Yeah.
Right. This is a perfect scenario for them to do that.
Wouldn't they have leaked it before 1993 though?
But here's the thing. That's a good point. But here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say that if there was cold hard evidence that he didn't do it, NASCAR would have jumped the damn gun and said he did not do that. And Winston would have done the same thing.
Well, they wouldn't have corrected the photo, and I think that's very arguable. Like,
Yeah.
if there was nothing there, then why correct the photo?
What did the correction look like again? Can we pull that one up? I've never even looked at that because I've always looked at the one that's. So that's the correction. Okay. Now that we're looking at the correction one, so everybody that's not watching it, just in case we don't have video, we're looking at the one where it's just Bonnet's gigantic ears.
Go in more. Go in more.
Go in more, yeah.
I can't go in anymore.
Oh, that's as
Okay.
far as we can go.
Look behind his ear. You can see the shadow kind of reflect on the suit.
Well, here's what I was going to say. From where his hands are placed, it looks like his right hand is cupping over his left. So that would have covered up his left hand. Because look at his hand, his arm marks.
Look.
Yeah.
That's if you're holding it right like that, but who's to say he's not got it like this?
Well,
But
even
still, it could hide over behind the head.
All right, now let's look at the other one more time.
Unless if his thumb was like perfect like this.
Oh my God, there's
That's
no
a
way.
dick.
There's
Look
no
how
way.
long that fucking hand. He would have to be holding it right here.
But, okay, look in. Can y'all see my mouse? Or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right here. If his suit was open for it, there would be a little bit of, like, clearance here in this area.
My God. I just don't think I just don't think there's a way. There's a vein. There's a vein that's there.
You would have to have like just fucking sturdy. Like
But there's veins in your hand, man.
I'm saying, it has to
Not
be like
one that thick. Look, there's not a vein that's that thick in your hand.
no.
Bart.
Me and Parv are on the same page with this one. I think we have solved the mystery of the 1987 Winston Cup photo.
Yeah, there's a dick behind his
There is.
fucking ear.
Yeah, he pulled out his pecker. That's exactly what happened. Look at their faces. Look at them. Look at
All
Daryl.
right, hey, let's all take a picture next time we meet up, and I'll fucking whip it out and put it behind Parv's ear.
All
We'll
right.
see.
Honestly, to
We'll
re-
fucking see.
to
We have to
recreate
look
this
for sports
photo,
science.
I would 100% do it.
Exactly. I'll fucking put it right behind Parv's ear.
Could
No,
you imagine?
Not mine ear.
Could you imagine? Okay, let's just say that is his penis because we all know it is, and let's just
For
say
all
that.
intents and purposes.
Let's just say we all know that's his dick. All right. Let's just say that he got away with this. That makes him an absolute NASCAR legend.
Oh, 100%.
He's already a NASCAR legend, but that right there throws him over the top. There's no another driver that will
question
do
about
that.
it.
Yeah,
But
that is nuts.
I'll tell you, man.
Not nuts, actually.
I don't.
Like, just all right. So let us know what you think about this. Do you think it is one, or are you with Coop and Jacob and think it is, or are you like with me and Cody? Think
I
it's not?
really hope that we can post the video on Spotify so that it's not just us screaming "look"
Yeah.
and there's not a bunch of people just being like, "Oh, what?"
By all means, if you've made it to this point and you haven't looked yet, make sure you just Google 1987 Winston Cup poster and then.
It's
zoom in.
nothing like you're gonna see a fat, just hard
No,
dick.
no,
hanging
no.
out. Like
It's
it's
so
very, it's
controversial.
subtle, it's hidden. Yeah, it's nothing bad.
Tim Richmond, for those who aren't familiar, is the man wearing the Folgers uniform. He is right beside a Darrell Waltrip in the Tide. So look over to your left and you will see his hand.
Watch this 30 for 30. If you have a chance, have access to ESPN Plus, watch this 30 for 30.
I'm gonna
Spectacular.
say that I'm gonna try to get a hold of Morgan Shepherd because he's standing right next to him. I'm gonna ask. That's not the only reason I want Morgan Shepherd on here. I mean, Morgan Shepherd's.
Why
obviously-
wouldn't we? I mean, he could tell us anything we wanted to know.
Yeah, like he's an accomplished driver and an accomplished race team owner, and he's a NASCAR legend in his own. But I really
Oh,
want
yeah,
to get
he's
him
still
on.
running at like 82 years old.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Like he's fantastic. I want to get him on just so I can talk to him and be like, okay, man, you got to tell me something.
I mean, he's definitely gonna be the person gonna be like, "Yo, what up? I got Morgan Shepherd here. So was it a dick or not?"
If there's a podcast that gets Morgan Shepherd on and asks him that question before I get to, I'm going to lose my shit. That's what's going to happen.
But if they do, at least we can find out.
At least we could find out.
Yeah,
but
we
get it
I want to be
solved.
the one.
He had his hand placed awkwardly.
No, we're going to hear
I
that.
agree.
Yeah, he nudged me in the shoulder and he was like, Pecker, and then pulled it out behind me.
That and the fact he would have looked back and been like, I mean, all right, guys, we're done with the picture. Puts it back in his fucking pants, you know? Like,
It's also crazy that a lot of people in that poster are, man, a bunch of
deceased,
them-
yeah.
bunch
They
of them are
passed.
dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Neil Bond.
How would you not hear-
Allison. Huh?
You got a little super go up.
Well, dude, I can. Okay, listen, we're all guys here. Okay, all the guys listening to this podcast, and women too. We're not going to discriminate, but like if you want to,
Everyone knows what a fucking dick looks like.
if you want to really whip out your dick and surprise somebody, you can make that zipper soundless.
Oh,
You,
yeah.
you could SEAL Team 6 that shit. Nobody will know it comes.
But I mean, given there's 18, 20 people there, they're all talking. Like you're not gonna hear it's not like it's dead silence. And
Well,
they're
think about-
coming down.
Think about the what is it? The RJ Tobacco Company or RJR Tobacco Company, whatever it is. Think about them. They're just probably all business. We're here to take a photo. Click. We're here to take a photo.
Right.
Click. Let's get you all. Let's take this X amount of photos to get you in. That's why Dell's face was just like, I don't care. And think about like Tim and them, that they had probably been there. I mean, let's think about this. This is pre-COVID and everything, so a lot of people have been forgetting about practice. This is probably during practicing, qualifying. They're there
I
checking out the
guarantee
track.
They didn't just throw those suits on for a photo op.
Yeah, like they was like, hey, you're all together now. Let's go. So that was probably like, hey, and then Tim Richmond was probably like, hey, I'm just gonna whip it out.
If that's what you say, buddy,
So we're totally split down the middle.
we are.
Yep.
We are.
All right, well, it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, two of us are wrong.
Two of us are wrong. Two of us are right. It's just depending on which two it is. What is it I said today? I said that it's just going to be between a turd sandwich and a douche and a
Yeah. On
douche.
Twitter.
Yeah. South Park, man, they're geniuses.
Always have been, always will be.
Always will be. Well, I think that's it. I think that's all we pretty much got. We can sit here and blab about it, but I mean, we all know what it is. It's got a vein.
Right, it's his hand.
It's his pecker.
Yeah, okay.
So after listening to this and doing your own research and looking, make sure you come to our Facebook or our Twitter at Left Turn Cult and give us your opinion on it. I will put up a poll on Sunday, and we will get an official poll on it. That gives everybody enough time to listen. But in the meantime, feel free to tweet at us or comment on a Facebook post and give us your opinion. Did Tim Richmond whip his dick out or not?
Also, the email. I put the email out on Twitter, leftturncult@gmail.com. Email us. Talk to us. Let us know what you think.
Also, I want to thank our sponsor. Don't worry, it's not who you think it is. Cody Has Powers.
No, we still got a sponsor. JP's NASCAR Outlet. We still got a sponsor.
Do we?
Yeah.
Did the plug.
I gotta go talk to him. Well, there's the plug. It's all he's getting right now. But
Okay.
yeah, we talked. He's going to give away some free stuff to us. We're going to have a little giveaway. So,
Ooh, giveaways.
Mhm.
But also, we have Cody Has Powers on Twitch.tv.
Yeah, Cody Has
Yes.
Powers.
Yes,
That
absolutely.
is where you can find us streaming almost daily. Tonight we did a 4-way stream on NASCAR Heat 5. You had me, Parv, and Jacob racing. Coop was giving the live commentary, reading out the comments that our viewers were giving. The stream is actually starting to pop off a little bit. So, if you're ever interested, usually anytime between 8 p.m. Eastern to 4 a.m. Eastern, you're probably going to find us on Twitch doing something.
Yeah,
More like
and
5 a.m. That's what we'll be. So we'll be
We
getting
play-
off.
We play games like NASCAR Heat, Minecraft, sometimes if like Rocket League, but no, we play a lot of games. Come join us.
All in all, Tim Richmond is a legend. Whether we know
Whether
if it's a penis,
he whipped his dick out or not, the man was a legend. Taken
he
too
was
soon.
he was a legend taken too soon, and 100% would love to see what he would have done if he had not died. But there'll be an episode on his life and everything, all the controversies that he went through and everything like that pretty soon. But next week we got a pretty special episode. We're not going to give it away just yet, but we got a driver coming on. It's going to be fantastic. Loving
It's
it.
the NASCAR Heat 5 Left Turn Colt champion, road course king, Cody Powers.
It is. It's Cody Powers. Talk about his accomplishments at the.
It's
Royal
also the legendary Brendan Gaughan.
God, the legend.
I
Praise.
wish.
Praise be unto him.
Let's not make anybody think that it is actually the greatest.
It's not
of
Brendan
all time.
Gaughan. Sorry
Watch
to
him reach out.
disappoint.
He's gonna reach out, and be like, "Hey boys, can I get on?"
See,
Yeah.
when we actually get social media followers, Parv's going to be on blast 90% of the time. That's what's going to be fun about it.
Oh yeah.
Good.
All right. Well, I guess that's it.
Yo,
We'll,
thanks for tuning in, my friends.
yeah,
We
thanks
have
for hopping
Jake.
in.
We have the Left Turn Cult man Jacob. We have Cody Powers, a road course king. We have the legendary Cooper Watson, and me.
Parv, just Parv.
Just Parv. Old Parvo.
Yep, that's me. Not Parvo. Just
No, it's
Guys,
Parvo.
I forgot to hit record.
You're fucking lying 'cause I
I
see it in
am.
my corner.
Cue the outro.
Bow.
Bow, 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 bow.